Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Jai Hind, and welcome to Khan Global Studies. I hope I am properly audible and visible to all of you. I hope I am properly audible and visible to all of you. As you mentioned yesterday, winter is going to be quite severe. Just see, normally when we see that when there is a La Nina condition, when there is formation of La Nina condition, then we see that like in the case of India, many of the winds from the portions of west western portions of Asia or southern portions of India are getting attracted. Okay. Means there is a formation of uh, like you can say that in this area there is subsidence of the air, subsidence of the cold air. Westerly jet streams are there; they are also leading to subsidence of the cold air. So due to all these factors, there is not one or two factors. Due to a combination of many factors, it is generally seen that during the La Nina condition, there is formation of this cold, severe cold over the northern parts of India, northwestern parts of India. There is severe cold. So there are multiple factors which are responsible for it. Now, coming to this, coming to this one topic, today is the topic which we are going to discuss. The first topic is going to be about the sanction waiver. The sanctions waiver. Like this year, when we are talking about a few weeks back, when we were talking about US and India, we have seen that there was a sanction imposed on this use of Iran's port, the Chabahar port and all. There was a sanction on it. Now this sanction has been lifted. Now it has been lifted for a smaller period of time. So we will try to see that what is this Chabahar port? What is the strategic significance of this for India? Second thing is we are going to talk about the AI, the use of AI in education. Why we are discussing, I will show you the context that why we are discussing this one thing. Like right now we are going for implementation of this. Till now it has been in policy, it has been in used by students individually, but now as a part of curriculum, AI is going to be introduced in our education system. So we will see how it is going to be done, what are the possible challenges, what are the possible benefits. That is one thing which we will see. Then cloud seeding. Cloud seeding. So there has been cloud seeding in case of Delhi and it has not been successful. But here we are trying to evaluate this portion, that is cloud seeding the ultimate solution for pollution or not? That cloud seeding, can it be a solution or not? So that is one thing which we are going to look into. Then we are going to talk about ASEAN and India. This summit was concluded recently. So we will try to judge this portion. We will try to judge this one thing, that the ASEAN-India relations, how ASEAN is significant for India. So these are the topics which we are going to discuss. But first, we are going to start with the mains question. Last day, I have given you this one question. Climate change, climate finance is not a charity. Climate finance is not a charity. Okay. Second thing is, it is the responsibility of the developed nations. Comment. I have two questions regarding UPSC preparation. Is there enough simple English for this, like tense? Simple English, like I don't understand your question. That what you are trying to ask. If you are trying to ask me that tense, present tense, past tense, these type of things, grammars and all, so a little bit knowledge is required, a little bit understanding of the English language. Like it's not strictly about that you should be aware about how to use preposition, how to use conjunction, etc. A general knowledge about these things, sentence formation, ability to understand in English, and ability to also converse in English. If you are appearing for exam in English medium, this is something which is required. If you are appearing for exam in English medium, you will require a hold over the English language in that manner. It doesn't have to be strictly grammar oriented. Second question is this: are NCERT books sufficient for this? Geography, polity, history. For geography, it is sufficient. For polity and history, you will need to read a little bit more. You will also need standard books. For geography, it is sufficient. So I have given you this one question. Now tell me how many of you have written. Like, I have been giving you regular question in this week, and I expect that today you all might have written this answer. It was a simple question. Climate change, climate finance is not a charity. It is the responsibility of developed nation. Bharat has written, Ranjit has also written. So tell me how you have started this answer. How you have started this answer. Raj Verma has also written it. Okay. Now you should not forget to write the question. This was 1 week when we were focusing on writing of the answers. Next week we will again start with prelims portion. Next week we will be doing questions of the prelims, because there is a limited amount of time. So either we can go for mains practice or prelims practice. So we are doing it alternatively, that 1 week we are going for mains, 1 week we are going for prelims. They have written, good. So let's see how we can approach this. You can try to match your answer. Let's see how we can approach this. Now, climate finance is not a charity. It is the responsibility of developed nation. And the keyword is comment. So this is one such question which is quite broader in nature. It is quite broader in nature. Chandresh or Bharat. Okay. Chandresh. Okay. So climate finance is not a charity. It is the responsibility of developed nation. It is the responsibility of developed nation. So let's see how we can start this. If we are talking about the introduction, what we can do is, first we can give a basic idea. There are 2-3 options. One thing is, we can talk about the Baku Declaration. We can talk about the Baku Declaration. That what was the commitment? What was the commitment of the developed nation under the Baku Declaration? So that is one thing which you can put into. Second thing is, you can also mention about the latest UN report. You can mention about the latest UN report, that what is the UN report suggesting. The UN report is suggesting that how much money have been provided. So that is one thing, that how much money has been provided, that we can also put it here. Third option is, you can also mention a little bit about, or you can mention about the principle of common but differentiated responsibility and polluter pay principle. So CBDR or polluter pay principle. Polluter pay principle. So in the introduction, you can start with any of them. You can either give the historical context, you can mention about the recent UN report about how much funding has come, or you can also mention about the Baku Declaration, that what has been the commitment of the developed nation for climate finance. So this is one thing that you have to mention. Now, you have to show that why it is responsibility of developed nation. In this question, it is comment. So there is no specific direction. But here you can see that the theme of the question is, it is not charity, it is responsibility. So here you have to show why it is responsibility. Okay. So climate finance is responsibility. You can give this, that climate finance is responsibility of developed nation. And then you can mention it in some point-wise manner. You can mention it point-wise manner. You can mention about the historical pollution caused by the developed nation. Second thing, you can mention about the impact on domestic, impact on developing and undeveloped nation. You can also mention about the burden of climate change. You can mention about the burden of, like, first you can mention that how it is impacting. Now we see that there is more frequent cyclones, more frequent like floods, more frequent cloud bursts. So you can mention this, that how climate change is impacting the developing and underdeveloped nation. Third thing you can mention it, that now they are also having this burden of climate, they have to also work for climate. Then if you have not mentioned, you can also mention about the historical agreements like common but differentiated responsibility and polluter pay principle. If you have not written here in the introduction, you can use it later. So in this way, you can give 4 or 5 points on how it is the responsibility of the developed nation. That why it is the responsibility of developed nation. Then you can mention about the challenges. Now you can show this in flowchart. Why? It is 150 words only. So you have written introduction, you have mentioned why it is their responsibility. Now you can mention the present challenges. You can mention that they are contributing only a very limited fraction. The majority of the finance which is coming through the developed nation, it is also coming in the form of debt, not grant. It is coming in the form of debt. So you can mention the current finance related challenges, that major powers are pulling out of Paris Treaty. You can mention about the US, that US has pulled out of the Paris Treaty. Second, you can mention that in the present times also G20 continues to be the 77% emitter. Majority of the finance coming as debt, and total amount of finance which has been provided is just $26 billion. So you can mention some of the challenges, and then you can mention the way forward also. In the form of this flow chart, that what should be done. Okay. The first thing is, we need to have a global public awareness with respect to climate change. There is a need of global public awareness with respect to climate change. That is one part. Second thing, there should be a mandatory treaty. For the developed nation, that they must have to obey this. Okay. So this is one thing. Like, there should also be a mechanism for involvement of private sector also in this part, because private sector has also benefited from the use of coal or petroleum or others, and they are not paying up. They can mention that we can have involvement of private sector. We can also have public awareness, global public awareness, mandatory treaty, and transparency and accountability in funding. So this is something which you can mention under the way forward. And then you can mention finally in the conclusion that climate change is not a problem for one country. It is problem for all. But the responsibility is not same for everyone. The developed nations must step up to rectify their historical mistakes. So that is one thing which you can give in the conclusion also, that if we want to survive, if we want to sustain, it has to be done in an inclusive and sustainable manner. And for that, developed nations must step forward help the developing and underdeveloped nations adopt the green technologies. So this is one thing, like this is one something which you can mention here in this question. First part, intro. Second part, climate finance is responsibility of all, challenges in it, way forward, and conclusion. So tell me, is it matching? Comment keyword is one of the most challenging keyword. It is one of the most challenging keyword. Approximately same. Okay. So you know where you have to make amends. I think you know about this. I think you know about this, that where you have to make amendments in your answer. So I hope you can do that. I will give you question today also. I will give you two questions today. Like you have the weekends, Saturday and Sunday. So you can also try to write the previous questions plus the today's question also. I will give you some questions today also and some questions from previous sessions also. So now let's start. The first topic which we are going to see is the sanction waiver. You can see in both newspapers, this is something which was there, that India gets a waiver on US sanction against Iran port. And this is the exact part, that there is a 6-month sanction relief to Chabahar. So now can you tell me, what is the significance of Chabahar? What is the significance of this Chabahar? Like it is something which is being jointly developed by India and Iran. This is something which is being jointly developed. It is being jointly developed by India plus Iran. India plus Iran. We see that this Chabahar connects India. It connects India to Afghanistan. It connects India to Afghanistan. It connects India to Central Asia. It connects India to Russia and also Europe. So this Chabahar port has the capacity to connect India to Afghanistan, Central Asia, Russia and Europe. So this is one of the very much strategic. It is one of the most strategic port for India outside India. It is also reducing, or it is also like a counter to the influence of China in this region. Counters China's influence near Gwadar port. So China is having an influence here through the Gwadar port in Pakistan. So it is also a challenge to that influence of China in this area. It is also something which is like securing energy security for India. This is also something which secures energy security. Energy supply to India. It is securing the energy supply to India. So there are multiple benefits of it, from connectivity to geopolitics to energy to relations. Okay. So there are multiple angles of it. We see that it is having diplomacy, it is having geopolitics, economics. It is also related to connectivity. Okay. Plus energy. So all these angles are there. All these angles are there with respect to this Chabahar port. India and Iran, we have been developing this jointly. We have been developing this jointly. Now, in the past also, in 2018 also, when US and Iran relations were not good, at that time also, there was a discussion that there may be a sanction on Chabahar port also, or Iran's port also. And in the same manner, recently we have seen that in the last month itself, in October itself, we have seen that there was a discussion about sanctions on Chabahar port. But now US has taken a U-turn and it has given a 6 months waiver for Chabahar port. This is some development in India-US relation, that we are getting a 6 months waiver for the Chabahar port. So that is one of the part that we see here in the case of Chabahar port. A 6-month waiver has been provided. But the question is, at what cost? क्या करना है कि मैं इस टॉपिक को 10 बार पढ़ चुका हूं फिर भी याद नहीं रहता. देखो, let me tell you one thing honestly. You should start taking interest in the topic. Once you start taking interest in the topic, then you will be able to memorize it quite easily. Like, as soon as you see the Chabahar port, something must come to your mind that, okay, let's look at Iran. Iran is surrounding Pakistan, so strategic angle. It is also connecting India to Afghanistan, bypassing Pakistan. So if we have to reach out to Afghanistan, we are no longer dependent. We are no longer dependent on Pakistan. We can go via the alternate route to Afghanistan. Central Asia, why it is important? Rare earth elements. So we need to have a connectivity with Central Asia, rare earth elements plus uranium plus energy sources. So very important country. Then Russia, our all-time favorite ally. We need a faster connectivity to Russia to enhance our trade. Again, we need a connectivity to Russia. Europe, we want to export our items to Europe. It is the second most and sometimes the first major export destination of India. So as soon as you visualize the Chabahar port on map, things should come to your mind that look at this side. Western side we have Europe, then come to Central Asia, then we have Russia, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and then into Pakistan we have China also. So once you start visualizing the topics, it will be easier for you to remember it. It will be easier for you to memorize this. So I hope now this part will remain clear. Okay. So this is one thing about the Chabahar port. This is the first topic about Chabahar port, what we are gaining, and now we have got the waiver for the sanctions also. I hope now you would be able to memorize it. Try to visualize the topics. Once you start visualizing the topics, then things will become clear. Let me explain it to you in the next article. This is the topic, artificial rain, and here this is an editorial with respect to this. In the Indian Express, there was editorial with respect to the artificial rain. So now let's see, like this is a topic, artificial rain. If we have to look at this one topic, first of all, what we have to know, how this is done. What is the method? How we are getting the artificial rain? I think you all know the thing. It is cloud seeding. First thing is, it is cloud seeding. We are doing cloud seeding. In cloud seeding, what we are doing? We are spreading some salt. What we do? We spread some salt. On clouds in air. We are spreading some salts on cloud in air. What it does? It helps in condensation. It helps in condensation of water. It helps in condensation of water. And that's why it can cause rainfall. This one can cause rainfall. So this is first part. What we do? We do the cloud seeding. Under the cloud seeding, what we do? We are spreading some salt in the air. And these salts help the water to condense around it. And due to condensation, there is formation of raindrops. And when the raindrops are getting formed, they come down in the form of rain. Now in case of Delhi, even after cloud seeding, there was no such rainfall. Why there was no rainfall? Why there was no rainfall in Delhi? Because there was very less moisture in the air. The amount of moisture was quite on the lower side in the air. So even after cloud seeding, there was slight or no rainfall. There was very little or no rainfall in case of Delhi. Now, one more question here, that what are these salts? Like we see that there are certain salts which are spread in the air. So what are these salts? Can you give me some name? That what are these salts which are being spread in the air? Salts or substances. Rain ही नहीं रुक रहा. Power nap, just before the class, I was also having the same problem. Like I was also taking a power nap. Then I was also about to, like, I was going in deep sleep. But then again, mobile phones are the distraction. Mobile phones, they were responsible for me waking up. Otherwise, at 5 p.m., I would have been getting the phone call, the class. Then it would have been interesting. I would have just woke up and come into the class. So yes, we have silver iodide. We are having silver iodide, potassium iodide. Then we have dry ice also, and etc. We have so many things: silver iodide, potassium iodide, dry ice also. Okay. So potassium nitrate also. Yes. So these are certain things which we are using for the purpose of cloud seeding. Now the question is this, that why we are doing this? Why are we going for this cloud seeding? So there are multiple purposes. Sometimes to avoid drought season. Certain times we are doing it to avoid drought season, or to reduce pollution. To reduce pollution. These are two main things for which we are doing the cloud seeding. There are two main factors responsible behind it. We are going to do this either for bringing rainfall if there is a chance of drought season, or if there is too much of pollution, then also we are going for this artificial rain via cloud seeding. We are also going for this artificial rain via cloud seeding for removing the pollution, or we are doing it for managing the drought conditions, managing this problem of no rainfall. So this is the way. Okay. Now this editorial, it is saying that it is not the ultimate solution. There are challenges or limitations of this. Limitations. So can you tell me what are the limitations of this cloud seeding? Like what are the limitations? What is its limitation? Good evening. What is its limitations? Like we have seen that we are doing cloud seeding in case of Delhi right now, so we see that the artificial rain depends on humidity, wind, and other factors. So this is one thing. Artificial rain also depends on humidity, wind, and other factors. So cloud seeding, that's why we see that cloud seeding not always successful. Cloud seeding not always successful. Like we have seen in the case of Delhi, that it has not been successful. It has not been successful. So cloud seeding has not been that much successful. Second thing is, it is diverting the attention. It is something which has been called as that it is a short-term measure. This is just a short-term measure. Short-term measure, not addressing the real problem. This is something which is not addressing the real problem or the root problem. Like for example, think about this. Delhi government has used some crore rupees, around 4 or 5 crore rupees perhaps, or some crore rupees on this cloud seeding. Delhi government has used crores of rupees on this cloud seeding experiment. Now, after the failure of all this, who is at loss? The loss is of public money. First thing is, there is the loss of public money. Second thing is, even if we were successful, let's say that we were successful, even in that scenario, is it addressing the problem of pollution in Delhi? It is just a short-term measure. That suppose it would have been successful, then also the pollution in Delhi NCR would have been reduced for a few days. It would have been reduced for just a few days. It is not a long-term solution. It is not a long-term solution. So we have to find the solution rather than just covering it. Cloud seeding is the art of covering the mistakes which we have been doing. So there is no focus on other pollution control norms. Okay. So this is one of the challenge, diversion of attention from pollution control mechanism. Pollution control mechanism. From the last 1.5 week or from the last 2 weeks, from 21st of October to the present times, the new channels in India have been discussing about this, that how cloud seeding is done. They are showing different graphics. And they are demonstrating that how cloud seeding is being done. They are spending so much of time on creating graphics and everything to prove or to show to the viewers that how cloud seeding is being done. If they have invested that much time in showing to the people that what causes pollution in Delhi NCR region, there might have been some awareness among the people. So instead of focusing just on cloud seeding, there would have been a number of other steps which might have been taken to control the impact of pollution in Delhi NCR region. But again, this is a new technology, this is a new thing. So we are just like glamorizing this cloud seeding, and we are diverting the attention from the main challenge, that is the pollution in Delhi NCR region. So this is one thing. It has been done in various countries. It has been done in Dubai. It has been done in China. It has been done in many countries. In Dubai, when cloud seeding was done, the rain was so much intense that it created another level of problems. We have seen recently that in Dubai also cloud seeding was performed, and it created another set of problems in Dubai. So cloud seeding may not provide the optimum solution which we require. Instead, it is creating new problems, or it is more of a use of or misuse of public money. Plus, at the same time, it is diverting the attention from the real problem, from the root problem. Okay. So I hope that is clear. Instead, you could have simply shifted geography, like there is too much rainfall in Bihar, Eastern UP, West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh. We could have shifted the winds from there. We could have pulled the cloud Delhi. That may have given us some rainfall. If we would have pulled those clouds from the portions of Bihar or uh, Eastern Uttar Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, then it would have been better. So let's move on to the next topic. Now, coming to the third one. The third topic is with respect to AI in education. So see, what is this news article? Now, on this topic, I will give you the opportunity to read and write the answer. I will give you a question. I will just tell you the context. We are not discussing this article in detail because there is nothing in this article. But we will discuss this topic of AI in education. But first, I will give you a question on this. You have to write that answer, and then I will tell you about this AI in education. Okay. Gujarat में भी है तो हाँ, we can shift that clouds a little bit towards the portions of Delhi, Haryana. I think you will not mind it that if we are shifting some clouds. So AI, it is going to be introduced in class 3 from 2026-27. See this one thing, like it is going to be introduced in the school curriculum. Okay. So Ministry of Education, it is saying that from 26-27, the AI is going to be rolled out as part of NEP, as part of National Education Policy of 2020. So here we will see that like there will be introduction of AI. There will be introduction of AI in case of class 3. Okay. So this is one thing, like now the students, now the upcoming generations are going to be more sharper than you. The upcoming generation is going to be more sharper than you. It is going to have like many more skills as compared to you. Like you were always proud of yourself that you know more than your parents how to use mobile phones. You know more of how to use mobile phones or laptops than your elder brothers or sisters or some relatives. So you were having that phase now. You were in that phase where you were saying that you are more smarter than most of the elderly people around you. So now that thing is going to change. Now we are going to have class 3 students with education of AI. They will be having knowledge about the AI. So it will be started from class 3. By the time they are going in class 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, they will become pro. And by the time they become pro, they will call you outdated. So you have been calling your elderly people outdated. Now it's your time. You would also be called as outdated. Okay. So AI is going to be introduced in the schools. Now I am giving you just a question here today. Okay. Just I am going to give you a question here today. Discuss the potential of AI in reforming school education in India. School education in India. Examine the challenges. Examine the challenges of integration of AI in school education. So this is one thing which is of 250 words. I will suggest you one thing. Read a little bit about it. Try to find some examples. Like you are having 2 days of time. You are having time of Saturday and Sunday. So try to read a little bit about this topic and then try to give me the answer for this question. So like on Monday, we will be discussing this topic. But before we discuss this topic, I want you all to read a little bit about this. And in next session, I want a number of examples. I want a number of arguments in this topic. Okay. You are also learning AI in education. So you can start using AI. Okay. Now, coming to this one thing, ASEAN and India. Like ASEAN India summit has been there. ASEAN India. So we have discussed about this one topic in the last week also. We have discussed about this one topic in last week also. Now, can you recall one thing? Who are the members of East India Summit? Can you give me the answer of this one question? Who are the members of East Asia Summit? Who are the members of East Asia Summit? Can you tell me this one thing? Who are the members of East Asia Summit? Timor-Leste, that is part of ASEAN now, correct? Who else? Who all are part of this East Asia Summit? ASEAN plus 8 countries, okay? ASEAN plus US plus Australia plus New Zealand, Russia, India, China, Japan, South Korea. So you have given India, Russia, China, Japan, South Korea, Australia, New Zealand. Any country which is remaining? US. You have not mentioned US, Raj Verma. You have mentioned everyone but US. Okay. So just add this one. Total 19 now. Disha, it will be total 19 now because East Asia Summit will also include Timor-Leste from this year. There is a new member of ASEAN. There is a new member of ASEAN. So it will be ASEAN plus 8. ASEAN plus 8. That will be here. ASEAN plus 8. So here we will see that like Timor-Leste, that will also be part of it. So if you look at this, India is there, China is there, Russia is there, South Korea, Japan. So 5 countries from Asia, Australia and New Zealand, 7 countries plus US, 8 countries. So in total, 8 countries plus ASEAN. ASEAN is now having 11 members. So East Asia Summit is now a grouping of 19 countries of the world. But let's talk about this ASEAN and India. Like when we talk about ASEAN and India, we see that our relation, we have talked about this a little bit earlier also. Here we are just going to see the significance of this. Significance. So if we look at this, the significance portion, if we look at the significance portion of ASEAN and India, from the Indian point of view, we see that it is the fourth major export destination. It is the fourth major export destination of India. In fact, you will see that the only group, the only major group, the only major group which is having proximity, the only major group with proximity to India, we see that we have connectivity. We are having connectivity via land and via sea. We are having connectivity both via land and via sea. India can have connectivity with ASEAN through India, Myanmar, Thailand trilateral highway. India can have connectivity to ASEAN members through this India, Myanmar, Thailand trilateral highway. India can also have this connection with ASEAN through this like sea route. Okay. At the same time, around 40 to 50% trade of India, 40 to 50% trade passes through Strait of Malacca. Passes through Strait of Malacca. You can connect it with one such recent event that we are also seeing, the Great Nicobar project. The Great Nicobar project. Like, if we want to develop this as a transshipment hub of the world, if we are looking to develop it as a transshipment hub of the world, then again we need to have a good relations with ASEAN. There is also cultural connection, cultural and people to people connection, cultural and people to people connection. So this is one part. When we are looking at ASEAN, this is one thing for India, that we are having several points of convergence with ASEAN. Even for ASEAN, this is a very important part. Why? India is 7th largest trading partner of ASEAN. India is the 7th largest trading partner of ASEAN. We also see that when we are talking about ASEAN, India as a major global market. India as a major global market. The third thing which we see, that India remains one of those countries which is having a continuity in the policy, and that continuity is not aggressive. Like when we talk about China, China is having aggressive policy. China is having aggressive policy. When we look at the US, now the entire world is aware about this, that US is having no certainty. US is having no certainty in its foreign policies. US has behaved like a child in the recent times. In the last 10 to 15 years, the way US policies have been changing, it seems like it is a new country in geopolitics. Okay. So here we see that the democratic market, the democratic country with consistency in policy. At the same time, India advocates centrality of ASEAN in Asia Pacific. Okay. So India also advocates the centrality of ASEAN in Asia Pacific. Okay. So it says that yes, we need to keep ASEAN in the loop. We need to keep ASEAN in the central position in case of Asia Pacific relationship. So that's why for both the nations, it is like a significant relation. So this was one of the editorial explained section of Indian Express. In the past also, we have discussed about India and ASEAN relations. So in those portions itself, you can add this a little bit. I think in the previous week, we have discussed about this, that when our relation started, what is our trade volume and everything. So we have discussed this in the previous session also. We can just add it on that. It is part of actist policy also and everything. No one from European Union. They have been boycotted. So see, so that will be all for today. I have given you this one question also. Discuss the potential of AI in reforming school education in India. Examine the challenges of integration of AI in school education. So this is one question which you have to write. I have given you some other questions also. Now all of you have to write that in comment box whether you are writing the answers or not. So tell me, like, this will be your task now. You have to update me that have you written the answer or not. So the previous 3 questions which I have given you in this week, I have given you question on Tuesday also, Thursday also, Wednesday also, and today also I am giving you one question. So now this is your responsibility that you will tell me there in the comment box whether you have written the answer or not. Okay. So just do this one part. You have not been writing answers, will not go like that. Have to write the answer. So you don't have to just like see that okay, questions are being provided and I'm discussing the answer. You have to write it also. So all 4 questions, everyone, whether you have written it or not, you all have to write all the 4 answers in the next 2 days. You have time of Saturday, Sunday. Even if you have written the answer, you have to write it again. So 4 questions you have to write on this Saturday and Sunday. Difference between politics and diplomacy. Like, it is somewhat, diplomacy is one thing where we are like not taking an extreme step. Not taking an extreme step. We are trying to minimize the problems, okay, and maximize the benefit. We are trying to minimize or sideline the problems and maximize the benefit. Politics is something which is a little bit negative. Politics is something which is a little bit negative these days, like where we are trying to maximize our benefit. It can be at cost of others also, where we are just trying to maximize our profit. Okay, so take care of yourself. Okay. Yes, Keshav, that will be done this weekend. That will be done this weekend. So thank you so much, everyone. Take care and all the best. Thank you.